Okay, Katie, so we've done your beep test and some other tests, and now we're going to talk about what the results show me.
Okay.
So when you came in today, you mentioned that you were having trouble hearing your husband speak, and things sounded a little bit mumbly and whatnot. And actually, if you look at the results of your audiogram, you can see as well that your hearing is a little bit below what we would consider to be normal hearing, or easy to hear things without struggling.
Okay.
Have you seen an audiogram before, Katie?
No.
No? Okay, so why don't I just give you a little tour of the audiogram first then. Up at the top here, you have your different frequencies or pitches. So that's how high or how low a sound is. Over this side, it's the higher sounds and the lower sounds are here.
Okay.
If you look, the red circles here are your right ear, and the blue X's are your left ear. They look kind of the same. They're pretty close. And actually, I should mention too, down this side here, this tells me, do you remember when I asked you to let me know when you heard a sound, no matter how quiet it was, even if it sounded really far away?
Mm-hmm.
Where I placed the X's and the O's tells me where you could finally hear the sound at its farthest away or at its quietest.
Okay.
Okay, so you needed it to be louder before it sounded like the most quietest, like we might have in the gray area up here.
Okay.
Okay, so if we look actually at this different chart, it's a little bit of a different way of looking at it. This shows us the different sounds of speech. So all the different letters and vowels and consonants and things like that, they all use different pitches to make the sounds sound like they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you were commenting that some of your words that you would hear sounded kind of funny. Well, that kind of makes sense. If you look at your right ear, which is that red line here, everything below this line, you hear just fine. Right?
Okay.
So that's why you do hear quite a number of things, right? But when you look at this area over here, you're missing your P sounds and your K sounds and your S sounds. They're not audible. You can't hear them just by yourself. You mentioned that you can still hear your dog bark, but you don't necessarily hear the clock in your kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Right? Well, a ticking clock is a quieter sound than a dog barking.
Right.
So that makes a lot of sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your left ear is quite similar to your right ear, and so it kind of goes like this. And so the same idea. We're actually looking, when we talk about speech and understanding people talking to us, at 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 are kind of our most important ones that we want to be able to hear. And if you look here, you're struggling a little bit in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, my recommendation for you would be to use a hearing aid. And what it would do for you is it would take these sounds and it would bring them back up to this gray area here. So you just take the whole thing and we would lift it up so that you would be able to hear them better.
Oh, okay.
Now, have you ever considered hearing aids or thought about them at all?
No, not really.
You don't know much about them?
Kind of for old people.
That tends to be a lot of the time what people think, that they're kind of for old people. But I can tell you that hearing aids have actually come a long way from the hearing aids that our grandparents used to wear.
Oh, okay.
So they're actually quite tiny now. I actually have one that I can. You like tiny?
I like tiny.
So they're actually quite tiny. I can show you one in a minute if you would like to have a look at one. And they never bring you back to full, perfect, normal hearing. I can't say that they'll do that for you, but they will definitely be able to make you more comfortable to hear some of the stuff that you're not able to hear right now.
Okay.
So we could talk about that next if you like.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds great.
Excellent. Okay, so I will go and get the demo for you, and then we can have a look at that and see what you think of that.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.